Hey, Scruffy. No, no, you're grabbing the screen. You destroy the screen, Scruffy. Oh no, you're pulling too hard. Ah, hear it breaking. Yeah, it's gonna help you. Haven't learned, have you? No meows? Okay, that's a little better. Got a hiss. So, I have, let's see, I think it's the last of your super supper. And kibble. So I'm early again. I'm actually earlier than yesterday, so I think I'm like 40 minutes early tonight. So, guess I'll bring out your food. Okay, so put your food on the table. Grab the glove. And yeah, get a meow. So if you saw yesterday's video, it's kind of an unusual dinner. Scruffy was, I guess, engaged. He was sticking around after eating and accepted more pets, and he actually stepped inside last night, and he was meowy at the end of dinner, and I actually didn't know what he wanted. I kept giving him more food. Something's squeaking. I think it's the table. The wind's not that strong, is it? So anyway, I felt a little bad about leaving Scruffy last night, because it seemed like he wanted more, but I wasn't sure more of what. I didn't want to give him much more food. I gave him, I think, 3 extra helpings of kibble, plus treats, plus his normal food. And he's prone to throwing up. So anyway, yeah, today was another very stressful and crazy day. It's actually unusually crazy. Not sure where to start, but I guess I'll mention, yeah, I didn't get any footage of this, but I saw Scruffy late this morning on the side of the house. I only got a glimpse of him, so I think it was him, because I couldn't really make him out. He's moving so fast, and I didn't get a good look. But I think it was him because of his coloration. There's no other cats that I know of that look anything like him with respect to his coloration. And he was, so on the side of the house, he was actually on top of the fence between me and my neighbor's house. I was actually surprised. I actually have not seen him climb up that before. I mean, he could, but I know he's not a very good climber from what I've seen, because I've seen him fail to climb another fence before. But this fence actually, yeah, is kind of up his alley because there's a kind of a hill on my side of the fence, and so he's able to basically jump from the top of the hill to the top of the fence. So I can see him, yeah, easily getting up that fence and back. And so he was actually on the fence and he jumped onto the hill to get off the fence. So he was already on the fence when I saw him, and he was getting down. And then when he got down, he walked towards the exit of my yard. And I know the hole that he crawls through to leave the yard or get back in. So I'm pretty sure he was on his way out. Before I saw him, I actually heard some kind of meowy yelps, and I was wondering what the commotion was. I figured it was probably a cat, but I didn't think it was Scruffy. I thought maybe it was one of the other cats, because usually the other cats are louder. So it seemed like I didn't get any footage of it, but a few days ago I saw the white cat in my front yard, and he was making loud yelps before he started walking away across the street. And I'm not sure why he was yelping. I didn't see any other cats with him, but yeah. So loud yelps from random cats is not unheard of. And I remember when I caught Boots and that other cat fighting, they were making a lot of noise. So I actually did not expect to see Scruffy, and I did not expect to see Scruffy on the fence jumping down, and I didn't expect to see Scruffy leaving the yard. So I presume he left in the day, or at least midday. So that was kind of a surprise. I had a really busy, complicated day today. I'm still pretty stressed out from it, and it's still unresolved. So it's related to that big problem that I have that is going to financially hurt me really badly in a couple weeks. So I don't know how much I want to get into it again, but I guess I'll summarize. So I had some investments which were impacted by all of the geopolitical stuff that's going on right now in the world. And basically those investments are probably a complete loss at this point. That's actually not the problem. I wish it was just the problem, but it's actually much, much worse. So way back in January, I was actually kind of ahead of the curve, and I didn't actually think things would get like what they are, but I felt I needed to be responsible and take some precautionary actions just in case. So I bought some options, and I didn't really care about a small loss. I was more worried about the catastrophic case. So I used a more advanced trick with options, and I built something called a spread. And specifically, anyone who knows, I built a ratio spread, ratio push spread. Yeah. And in my worst case, it would basically mostly cover my losses in a bad case. In my best case, the way I structure it with the ratio spread is what I'm actually doing is I'm selling, so I'm basically buying some insurance, but I'm also selling some insurance at the same time. And the idea is I'm selling some insurance to basically offset the cost of buying insurance. But for this particular configuration, I'm basically buying really catastrophic insurance, and I'm selling not so catastrophic insurance. So basically, if the worst case happens, I have to pay out the other insurance policy, but my insurance policy is much bigger, and so on net I actually basically win. So it'll basically cover all my losses in my stock, and I'm more or less flat in theory. Just caveats, but that's how it is supposed to work. If everything's hunky-dory and my stocks go flying, then my insurance, both insurance policies expire worthless, and I'm actually no worse off because basically since I sold some insurance to pay for my other insurance, I'm basically even. So that's good for me too. So the worst case scenario, at least I thought it was the worst case scenario, is if the stock doesn't go anywhere, then I have to basically pay out the insurance policy that I sold, but I don't get to collect on my the one that I bought. But because there's a defined distance between the one I sold and the one I bought, I should have a maximum defined loss. And then the way options work is if you sell it back early, you don't have to take the max loss. So the general rule of thumb is you never hold the insurance policy through the last month, because the last month will be where the insurance policy starts really hurting if you're in the worst case. So I'm going to feed Scruffy now, I think. I think he's ready. Okay, let's get your food. Okay, got your food. But that was what was supposed to happen, but what actually happened has never happened before. So all trading was halted on my options, and so I can't cash them out, and so now they're stuck. And because they have an expiration date, if I can't cash them out, I basically don't get anything, even though actually, basically I was right about, or well, my insurance policy was right that basically the worst case happened. So even though I should be basically entitled to a bunch of money, which will basically cover me for my stock losses, I'm actually looking at getting nothing. But it's even worse than that. So my brokerage is actually telling me, due to very specific technicalities, which I'm not going to get into, I will not be able to exercise my insurance policy, but the one that I sold could actually be exercised against me. So I will have to pay out the other insurance policy, but I actually don't get to use mine, which is really unfair, and it's not supposed to happen. But that apparently is the situation I'm now in, and that's also why I've mentioned lawyers and lawsuits in the past couple weeks. But ignoring the lawsuit stuff, I'm now exposed to basically twice as big a loss than when I started with. So if I had just completely lost my stock, I would have lost 1x. But now, because of this weird quirk that has been created through this mess, if that's not supposed to happen, I'm actually looking at a 2x loss. And so, and it's not supposed, that was not supposed to happen. It was, I'm not going to say an impossibility, but I was told that basically this has never actually happened before at all. This is completely unique. Can't believe my luck. So, I have been desperately trying to get my brokerage or somebody to help me and fix this or unwind it or do something, and I have not had any luck. But finally today I talked to somebody who has been following my problem and trying to come up with some solution, and it's not a perfect solution. I still come out with losses, but instead of taking the full 2x loss, I'm going to still take the 1x loss, potentially, most likely, but the second x loss, they might be able to limit it to the spread loss. So instead of the unfair loss, which I should never have been exposed to, I'm only going to get the theoretical max loss that I could be exposed to if I held my options to expiration. Even though I'm in the money and they should be paying me, I shouldn't be paying them. But at this moment, it's about 1/5 the loss of the full 1x loss. And considering I know I'm screwed, the system basically the whole system has been rigged against me, and basically now I'm just praying for scraps. So either way, I'm screwed. It's just a matter of what degree. I still may need to get a lawyer, but there's a good chance I'll get screwed more by the lawyer than my losses here, because I'll have to pay for the lawyer, and then I still could potentially lose the case because the deck's stacked against me, apparently. So the lawyer thing, I'm still going to be thinking about, but there's a possibility that they're at least going to limit my worst case scenario. And so I was on the phone all day trying to work out that arrangement. It's not set in stone yet, so we're going to be talking over the next few days. So let me switch over to Scruffy here. So today I saw Scruffy, I think, sleeping on the deck in the morning. So I actually saw him on the rocks early, but I didn't get the camera footage. But later on, he was sunbathing, I think, in the deck. It was actually overcast this morning, so when he was on the rocks, there wasn't any sun. But I think it just started coming out just slightly when he was on the deck. And then I got really busy with all my other crap today. So I came out late. I had to bring out his water. And this was after I saw him leave the yard. So this was a couple hours later. So I actually thought he was gone. I didn't think he was out here. But when I came out for his water, he was actually back in the far corner again, like he's been the past couple days. And he actually decided to... So at first, he just stood his ground, so I didn't think he was going to come. I stood there for a second, thinking maybe he'd come like yesterday, but he didn't. And then I started taking a step back, and then he started walking over to me. And then I didn't know what to do. I actually needed to go because I was running late from all the crap I had to deal with today. So I did go back inside, and he just kind of held his ground and didn't go for the water, at least while I was there. And then I had to go, so I don't know if he drank the water or not. But yeah, that was my encounter with Scruffy. And yeah, so basically I've been playing phone tag all day, working with this one main guy, but the workaround's actually a little more complicated than that. So, and then there's a second backup plan we're also working on, which involves other people, and so I actually had to talk to other people to try to see if I can get any contingency plans in. If the contingency plans fall in, it may reduce my losses even a little bit more, but more things have to happen, and I'm running out of time because all of this has to happen before my expiration, which is less than 2 weeks now. And these things take time, so I'm almost out of time. I've been harassing them for over a month now, basically trying to avoid this last-minute ditch problem, but little good. It didn't seem to do any good, so here I am scrambling. So I'm really stressed right now, again, but I think this is the first day I've had a glimmer of hope, because I've been kind of resigned to the possibility of a complete, utter, catastrophic loss that I was not supposed to incur. Now I'm just looking at 1/5 that catastrophic loss that I'm not supposed to incur. Still not great, but it's easier to recover from, at least. And it's a long shot. There's still 2 other outs I have that I could actually come out of this with actually 3 outs. Third one would be the lawsuit. 3 outs that actually get me what I'm entitled to, but I think they're long shots. But I think emotionally, I'm still grasping at straws. I'm still hoping, I think deep down, that one of those long shots comes through, because this was more than a million to 1 shot that the situation I'm in. This situation I'm in never happened before. I can't believe my luck and how unlucky I am that I'm one of the. I'm basically the one who's hit this problem. I just blew the balls. So if I'm that unlucky, could there be something? I think karma owes me something. Because I didn't do anything wrong, and I got completely hosed. But I should be not completely hosed. So maybe karma's paying off here, where it's only giving me 1/5 the hosing. So maybe I'm asking for too much, but yeah, deep down I'm still clean. I probably shouldn't, but just emotionally, that's where I am. But for the past few weeks, I've actually been resigned on a full max loss, so I have a glimmer of hope, at least. Okay, looks like Scruffy's not hanging around. That's okay. Oops, he's coming back. He actually didn't do a very good job cleaning the ball, so maybe we'll do it one more look over. So I see like a piece of kibble on the side, and pate smears, and no, he's not even trying. Knock the kibble off. So one landed in the plate, and then there's actually one more in the bowl. So I guess maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow since we're almost out of time. But yeah, I did finally go for a run late this afternoon. I did an interval run, and I guess there's not much to talk about, so I guess I'll say it right here. So yeah, I saw the friendly cat, and I saw the friendly cat's pal. They're hanging out together again. And I saw the friendly cat duck into some junk. Maybe to hide or just sleep or something. His pal was hanging out outside. So it makes me think maybe the friendly cat is, yeah, an actual stray. Just happens to have a family or something that's adopted him enough to give him a collar and presumably some food regularly. Because, yeah, I see the friendly cat kind of wandering the neighborhood quite a bit. Seems unusual for a cat that'd be owned. Okay, I'm gonna get up. Okay. Yeah, Scruffy's out of here. Okay, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.